Walgreens IPO'd.
Walgreens IPO. I can't believe it took them that long to kick Walgreens out of the Dow.
This thing goes back to in some form or another, 1968. Is that true? So tomorrow is their last day as a public company.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was added on June the 26th of 2018, replacing General Electric.
Wow.
When Walgreens replaced General Electric in the Dow, GE had been a component of the Dow since November of 1907. Fun fact.
Wow.
How long before GE gets added back?
They'd have to. Who would they kick out?
Intel.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Intel already got kicked out. Cisco. NVIDIA replaced Intel. That was a no-brainer.
Cisco. I don't know how long. I mean, the new GE has been on a ripper. So
it's not even called General Electric anymore. It's GE Aerospace.
Right.
That's a fucking stupid name.
So how about this? The all-time high will be at some point, maybe in the next 6 months. So whenever it makes a new all-time high, that's when they'll add it. How about that?
Yeah, most likely. All right.
Okay. All right. Steve's coming in. Let's just. We're running late. Let's start the show. We're running.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. What a good day here on the morning show on Stock Market TV. We'll have Art Hill stopping by. We are very excited to talk to him. He sent over a few charts for us, which we are always very appreciative of. We are also appreciative of everyone here and in the chat because you guys make it fun. So shout out to all the regulars and the newbies. We love you all. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Let's get this show on the road here. We were just talking about Walgreens because, I don't know, Walgreens. It's Walgreens and the Dow. Fun fact, JC is probably the world's foremost authority on Dow components and when companies were added and or removed and or re-added back. He just seems to know when companies... That's like his thing. You know, we all have our things. That's like his thing is Dow components. So whatever, gotta have a thing. All right, let's bring him out. Here we go.
Is that my thing?
I feel like you always know when a company was added or removed from the Dow.
I didn't know I had a thing.
We all have. Everyone's got a thing.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Everybody's got a thing.
Do you know the original stocks in the Dow?
I know they were all. I know one of them is actually still around. In its current form, right? The rest of them have all been either gone out of business or gotten acquired or are part of larger companies now. But it's all railroad and coal companies, right? And transports and
dude, Union Pacific
steel.
Union Pacific was part of the industrial average back in 1884.
All right, so that's still around. So yeah, it's all railroad. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Welcome.
But that was before the actual industrial average. Those were kind of just the first stocks.
Yeah, it's all railroad and steel and coal.
So May the 26th of 1896, American cotton oil, American sugar, American tobacco.
Okay.
So much America. You had North American.
Shout out America.
Coal and iron. General Electric, part of that. Chicago Gas. Shout out to Chicago Gas. U.S. Rubber. U.S. leather.
A few of those are still around in different forms, right?
The largest sector then is the smallest today.
Which is what?
Materials.
Yeah, I guess
They're all leather, plastic.
You know, fun fact: when you go to the New York Stock Exchange and you look at the ceiling, you got the cotton and the tobacco because it used to be a commodities exchange back in the day when it started.
Steve, are you implying we should all be shorting technology because it's going to be the smallest weighting in the next 100 years? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
I mean, at the rate that they're going, just taking companies out of the technology index, it could be some other random thing that doesn't exist yet. You know what I'm saying, Strazza?
Son of a gun. Steve, are you with us?
I want to show Wall Street Journal kind of scaring everybody.
There we go.
I don't know. Wall Street Journal there, guys.
Yeah, everybody's talking about this.
Slide 3 there.
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
The scary headline from yesterday morning. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
I don't know what scary headline you're talking about.
Yeah, this was making the
Wall
rounds.
Street Journal saying the tech rally shows signs of losing steam. So that's 2 weeks in a row where the S&P Technology Index does not make a new all-time high. 2 weeks in a row. That's really something around here. And so tech rally losing steam after 2 weeks of non-new all-time highs. Anybody in the chat want to weigh in? Is that evident? Technically, that is evidence of losing steam, is it not?
This headline is true. What's your problem with it? There has been evidence of deterioration in this sector. You just have to know what it means. But yeah,
evidence of deterioration. It's been underperforming for 2 weeks.
Yes,
it hit
right.
On a relative basis, the new recovery highs 2 weeks ago, and for 2 weeks.
Your point is taken, but it looked better 2 weeks ago, less good 1 week ago, and less good today.
You don't think that's a little dramatic?
No,
a little dramatic?
It's what you want to do with that information. For me, I see that 2 weeks down. I want to step in and buy that. Other people want to step in and complain about it. I don't know, but it's definitely true. I have no problem with this.
How about that Google, huh?
NVIDIA's going to come out this week and just set the whole space back on fire. That's
I love how the Wall Street Journal throws Jared Wang there, like he's the NVIDIA guy, right? The CEO?
Johnson Wang.
Johnson Wang.
Johnson Wang.
No irony there. All right.
I mean, I don't know. Palantir just fell, what, 25% in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, talk about one for the good guys.
That's not nothing. That's not nothing, JC.
In this market, usually you sell it and then you regret it afterwards.
To Steve's point.
Speaking of selling it, we're taking half off the table on that C Limited this week. Which calls did you have, Strazza? You got shorter dated calls, right?
In Palantir?
No. C Limited.
Oh, we doubled on C yesterday morning. We're in the Octobers.
Yeah, ours did too. I think I'm further out. So you're shorter term, but yours doubled the same time as mine. I guess that makes sense.
You did like January?
Yeah.
Mine should double faster, but it's because, JC, we didn't go right out the gates. We went, we chopped, we danced, we fucked around, and then we went.
So because you had shorter data, they deteriorated more than mine did.
Exactly right. If we put those trades on and they started working right away, I would have doubled sooner. It was the fact that, you see, when you nail it, people don't realize when you're buying call
this is a good point. I'm glad we're talking about this because Strazza and I had the same trade on C Limited, SE, but not the same trade. It was the same underlying stock, but two different types of trades. Mine was longer term.
Longer to work. Yours could have doubled without mine doubling. Right?
Yeah. So because of the churn after we put the trade on, his deteriorated more because it expired sooner. Right. So when C Limited did go, we both made money and our positions doubled pretty much on the same day.
When you buy call options, you're paying for time. And if the stock isn't making progress, like day in and day out towards your target, you're slowly losing.
Yeah.
C Limited is one of these stocks where, man, the resilience just stands out and every dip is to be bought.
Southeast Asia. This is a China story. Why do we keep losing Strazza? What is the problem over there?
I haven't.
Is it hurricane season, Strazza? We keep losing him. Stick him in the bathroom. Let's do the state of the markets. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Dow doing a whole bunch of nothing this morning. 0.0, Mr. Blutarski, for the Dow. S&P 500, also 0.0. Fat, drunk, and stupid. Spencer Israel, no way to go through life. S&P 64.50 currently. Nasdaq 100 futures down 0.1%. So nothing going on in the equities market. 30-year bond futures down about 1/3%, just under 114. Crude oil down almost 2 full percent, 63.5 there. Copper down 0.5%, 445. Gold up a smidge at 34.25. Silver down 0.69%, 38.5 there for silver, with the volatility index at 15.5. Over in funny money land, got some volatility out in crypto. Bitcoin down to 110,600. Bitcoin back to those spring highs. Will former resistance turn into support with Bitcoin? I think it will. Ethereum holding in real well. Nowhere near those spring highs. Shout out to Ethereum, 45.20, up another 3% on the day. Ton of relative strength from Ethereum. Solana could learn something about that. Solana back to those spring highs once again. Like Bitcoin, that underperformance continues, rolling over on a relative basis once again today. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.78 trillion. 3.78 trillion. How do we feel about this morning's futures?
It's super duper quiet out there.
I don't know, man. That Solana ETH is really moving. And that Ethereum's looking strong like bull.
Actually, let me check. Yeah, I mean, it's 3% today.
Ton of relative strength. Let's see on the
I don't know. Like all my cryptos are green. So when they're all green, Bitcoin is barely up, but looks when they're all green, I tend not to overthink it too much, right? So everything is up, right? As opposed to
these NFTs continue to act well. That's a that's an Ethereum story. The NFTs holding up in there, okay.
I don't even know how to look at NFT prices. So
go to nftpricefloor.com.
Oh, okay. This is new. Wait, let's do this all together. Everyone do this together. nftpricefloor.com. Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. We're all going to learn something here.
It's not that complicated. And then it just categorizes them. No big deal. See? Just categorizes the NFT. So this is like an Ethereum derivative. Like I have assets. I have like meaningful assets in this category. They're not illiquid. They're pretty liquid. And then, I just trade the floor prices on some of these. So, these, although they are non-fungible tokens, the fungibility of the punks punks and other NFTs at the floor prices are essentially fungible. You could trade them like any coin, right? Okay. Can you throw up Mr. Spencer Israel? Can you please throw up slide 5?
This is a fun site. I'm gonna look at this later because there's a lot of.
Where have you been? Like, you make it sound like this is like something new. It's not even.
I've never bought or sold an NFT in my life, so I don't know anything.
As soon as Spencer Israel buys his first NFT, we're gonna sell all of ours.
That's fine.
I will airdrop you some NFTs if you'd like. Send me your ETH wallet address, and I will send you some NFTs. How's that?
All right.
Deal?
Yep, deal. It's my wallet address is like stinker696969, something like that.
All right, nice. All right, so stinker69.
Yeah,
I will go ahead and send that over to you. Interactive Brokers. Speaking of Steve Strazza in Greenwich, Connecticut, Interactive Brokers. Man, it's looking pretty good there, isn't it, there, Spencer? And the reason I bring this up, and let's get back to this chart, but go to slide 6. I wanted to show what's going on in the rest of financials.
We haven't talked about the financials for like as a group for I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. Feels like it's been a minute, right?
Which is less because there's nothing to talk about, and more because there's so many other groups to talk about too. Financials.
Steve is our official financial beat reporter. Steve tells us when to talk.
I would agree with that. That's fair.
Yeah. I think these big banks are going to get so much bigger in the future.
Why is that?
They're going to be tech banks. These guys are going to become tech stocks. They're easing capital requirements and liquidity requirements, so they'll have more money to play with. And I think they're going to go on absolute buying sprees in fintech. Because who else is going to do it? And they'd be stupid not to. There are a number of startup technology companies in the fintech space now that these big six banks could go buy for a drop in the bucket that could really, really help them with their top line growth and profitability. They're going to do it. They're going to get a lot bigger.
What does this mean to you, Strazza?
And the regionals will continue to be, what?
You're not entertained by this?
Have you seen the Quaba?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Quaba made new highs yesterday or 2 days ago.
I think you want to own a little bit of all these banks. They're going to act differently.
The regionals. It looks just like the KRE.
Well, here's the thing about KBE. It's really a regional bank index.
Yeah, look at the components. I was looking at it yesterday.
And it's got like 50 others, which are regionals. So the right way to do a big bank index is the way that we do it, with 6 equally weighted holdings. Because there are 6 big banks and everything else is really a regional or a super regional.
Yeah, so because if you look at the KBE, which is the S&P Bank ETF, KBE, the largest component is Northern Trust at 1.2%. This is all equally weighted. You got Comerica, Citizens, Regions Financial, Bank of New York Mellon, JP Morgan's in there. But it's a really equally weighted bank index. Not really, like it actually is an equally weighted bank index. There's probably like 40 of them in there, right? Something like that. 40, 50 of them.
I think BNY is literally my new favorite bank. I'm just in love with this stock. It's just so good.
BK,
yeah.
Bank of New York Mellon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best base out there by a long shot.
Just love this stock. Nobody ever talks about this one.
Nobody ever talks about this. Why do you think that is? As like our,
do a lot of
financials correspondent here.
I don't know, high wealth banking. Maybe it's a boring business. I'm sure they have a great balance sheet. They really don't need Wall Street. So I think there's just minimal coverage there. That's how it goes.
Market cap there.
You know how it works. But don't sleep on the community banks too. There's some really funky stuff. Like if you're bullish energy, for example, and banks right now, you can go do some really awesome stuff. You can find some of these regionals that are way overexposed and have, way too much risk with the energy sector. A lot of them are based in Texas, and you could make a double bet, right, on these super high beta plays, and you can get a little bit of oil and gas exposure and a little bit of banking exposure at the same time. So you could do a lot of different things with the banks.
They don't have a super regional bank ETF?
There's not enough.
It's basically what KRE should end up being, though.
I know All Star Charts has a super regional index, right?
Yeah.
What is it? Equally weighted, Big 10, something like that?
Equally weighted, probably the top 10 regionals, I think. Yeah.
Spencer, throw up Bank of New York Mellon, please.
What do you suppose is the smallest number of holdings that an ETF could have? I've seen ETFs with 10 before.
6.
Is that really true? Is it 6?
They copied us many years ago. We've been doing this Big 6 thing forever, and I don't know who it was. Roundhill, one of these guys came out and they launched the Big 6 Bank Index. They did this. It was called Big, I think, or Big B.
Oh.
You don't remember?
Actually, you know what? I remember there might still be around. There was like leveraged FANG instruments. So
that man that came on with us and talked about the China fund, that Dragon China fund, that thing has like 10 in it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just
small ones.
But the big Bank of New York Mellon, because I don't think people realize just what of a beast this thing is.
Yeah, nobody talked about this base breakout.
Nobody ever talks about this. I've been tweeting about this and writing about it, and I mean forever.
This thing
is some base breakout, guys.
Ever since it's broken out, all it does is go up. It doesn't go down. The stock no longer goes down. And that's why we buy these base breakouts, because stocks just stop going down once they break out from these bases. They never go down again. So,
in case you're wondering why we're always so obsessed with finding big bases, it's because of this. This is why.
JC likes big bases and he cannot lie.
You other brothers can't deny.
But also sometimes it takes, the bigger the base, the longer it takes, right? To break that, right?
The bigger the base, the higher in space, right? Big shout out to Louise Yamada out there if you're out there listening.
But also,
Louise.
How many times does it actually break the first time, right? It usually takes
almost never. Right. You got to know how to play them things. That's why most people don't get involved in these. A lot of false starts, really, really sloppy. This one was clean as hell. 1 test, 2 tests, prior cycles, and then bang, ripped right through. Pretty nice. What's he laughing at? Hey,
I mean,
JC, what are you doing hanging out on these DGen Twitter spaces at 10:30 at night? What did you bring me into last night? That was gross, man.
I didn't bring you into anything. What are you talking about?
JC, I'll find JC just hanging out on Twitter spaces with crazy people,
what are you guys
like late
doing
at night.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah.
You know, part of the reason I've been as bullish as I've been, you know, some of these folks are very, very angry. You know, very angry. You know, they think.
Do you
Trump's
participate? Do you listen, or do you
sometimes
actually...
because I'm not like an anonymous. You know, I can kind of go in there anonymously if I wanted to, and nobody knows I'm in there. But I don't do that. If I'm in there, you know, I'm in there. So like they'll call me up. They're like, "Oh, JC, what are you seeing in this market? Don't come with all that perma bullshit." You know, standard operating procedure. You know, I mean, listen, when I'm late at night, I'm just looking through charts. I want to hear what the degens are you know, talking about, right? There's good idea flow. Like, by the way, not all of them are angry.
Do you want to share?
There's some happy people in there, and there's some, you know, good idea flow and a lot to fade, more importantly.
Do you want to share with our viewers the new community of friends that you made yesterday?
I mean, we don't have to go there, but I get invited to these random communities. I mean, it is really something, you know, like they don't say welcome, they say welcome, you know, like stuff like that. Like this, like, you know, very, you know, the kids these days,
dude,
these are called degens. These are just, that's how the kids talk. Like they don't say good morning, they say GM, right? Like they have like all these like sayings, you know, that like, you know, civilians don't know anything about. Right.
The metaverse is a strange place.
Metaverse is I mean, you know, listen, the metaverse people think that the civilians are strange. So it goes both ways. Right.
Let's bring Kenny on in a second. But speaking of Twitter, I don't spend as much like prolonged time on Twitter as I used to, but I will say Sunday night Twitter is probably the best Twitter to be on Sunday night, because Sunday night is awesome because everyone is in a good mood from the weekend and they're setting themselves up for the week, and they're talking about like let's review last week, let's look ahead to this week. And then
a lot of these Twitter people are such freaks. They're just passionate about this shit. That's the only reason why people are initially on Twitter, because they just
you'll find some smart ones in some of the dungeons of the internet corners. You know, there's some smart people.
But come Sunday night, these market people,
a lot of professionals too, by the way.
Sunday night is cool.
In some of these degen spaces, like these are financial advisors, these are asset managers that have hundreds of millions, if not billions, in assets under management, and they're in there with all these crazies too. I'm not the only one, right? Like there's other like real people. Yeah,
it's true. Aldous Huxley, my favorite author.
What are we talking about now?
Aldous Huxley, man. Doors of Perception, Brave New World. Really, one of the greatest novelists of all time. Should read his books. Should get involved. The Island.
Really I have read Brave New World.
Collectibles.
Yeah.
Some leather-bound books. Some leather-bound Huxleys.
All right. Well, we have our own Aldous Huxley. His name is Kenny Glick, and he's here.
The grandfather of day trading.
We're gonna bring him out. Let's see. Oh.
Yo, Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
What are you doing, Spencer? That's the wrong bumper. What are you doing, dude?
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola.
Mr. Kenny Glick, how are you, sir?
I'm coming up with my own bumper because I heard you talking about.
I'm talking about bass. Wednesday night. Come on, Wednesday night.
Talk about bass.
Wednesday night.
Bass. What's up, y'all? You talking about big basses? What's happening?
I love them. I can't get enough of them. Just big basses, you know?
That's right.
Can't get enough of it.
The big bass.
Mr. Kenny Glick, we are hanging out tomorrow. And I had some important shit to do on Thursday, and I got canceled. So now I can be reckless and on Wednesday night.
Oh, it's too bad. I have to actually be responsible. I got to get on an airplane the next day. So.
Oh no! See, I don't anymore. So I can get down. I got no kids. I got very few responsibilities. The next day, we're getting after it.
Man, those words used to mean a lot to me. Shit.
A little scary. Yes. I'm gonna pace myself. No boozing until after. We get our jobs done, right?
That's right. We got to be on our best behavior. The Godfather's coming.
Oh yeah, we got to be on our best behavior. The Godfather's coming. Phil Perlman also coming.
All right, it's gonna be a party. Sean's coming from Colorado, and then I'm flying out to see Sean in Colorado. It's
Nice.
Yeah, pretty wild.
I like it. All right, Mr. Kenny Glick. It's the end of August, bro. This is the last week in summer. Is the market acting that way, or are you seeing some things bucking that boring trend?
I want to tell you something. The market's going to crash today. You want to know why? Weed stocks. Weed stocks have been rallying under the radar, and this is now we're not dumpster diving. We have dug under the dumpster in that juice now, the grossness of the worst of the worst. And when that happens, usually, especially now going into this seasonal time where the market does sell off, maybe this is it. We've got Chinese stocks and wheat stocks, the worst of the worst. They're all rallying. There must be nothing left good to buy. So I'm going to look to short the Qs. I'm being serious right now. These are the worst stocks ever, and they're all around. Tilray, Cron, MJ, VFF, GRWG, the worst of the worst wheat stocks. They're all rallying right now. And it's a bunch of bullshit. It really is, because all these stocks are going to roll over and go to zero. But it does frighten me that they're rallying, and I mean it. This is the dash for trash that we've been waiting for.
And it's not just the pot stocks, right? The psychedelics, PSIL, the psychedelics hit new highs yesterday, then reversed, but
your mind meds, a lot of that stuff.
The mind meds,
but
company, right?
You know what? Listen, I love the volatility. One of my better trades yesterday was shorting open right back down to where it came from. So if you're going to give me a stock that trades 1 billion shares a day, I think you had 750 million shares on it yesterday.
Spencer, can you explain to me what the hell's going on with that company? They're a company that buys real estate, but like on the blockchain? No,
I think they do virtual tours. That's it.
So, do you remember a few years ago, around the pandemic, there was that whole movement about iBuying? Do you remember what that is? The iBuyers, right? Zillow and Redfin and Open Door, right? And they were like, "We'll basically just buy your house sight unseen, and then we'll flip it, basically sight unseen." That turned out to be a lot harder than it sounded. Zillow was like, okay, fuck this. So they got hosed. They were losing money in every single house. They're like, we're done. This is not working out for us. Redfin, I think, may have left too. I'm not sure. Open Door, that they're still in the game, right? They're still in the game. And I do know that Eric Jackson's been all over this one. He's going to be doing a video with Phil on our channel Thursday. We'll talk more about that tomorrow on Thursday. But
nice.
Open Door is, and I know the CEO just stepped down due to pressure from people like Eric Jackson. The stock has been obviously on a tear, but was in a huge drawdown before that. But yeah, it's basically what they do is they are an online platform for buying homes, and they are making it work. Maybe I don't quite know the fundamentals.
I don't know, but my wife never uttered this phrase. Whatever it is, short it. I was like, what? When she heard about what this company did, she was like, that's good. Nobody wants that. Short it, whatever it is. And she nailed it. She nailed it at the highs too. But apparently what it sounded like to her was that they just sell your house on a virtual platform. And she said, no one's going to do that. COVID will end and no one's going to want to not walk through the house and sell it and step in there and look around. And it's a terrible,
this thing peaked in February 21 when a lot of that speculative growth,
right?
Internet peaked at the same time.
2021, the Kathy Wood top,
and it went to 50 cents, from 38 to 50 cents.
Right. And listen, like every other 50-cent stock in 2025, that's the theme of 2025. This is not the only company that's been resurrected from the dead. I mean, and again, inevitably, they're all going to roll over and go to zero anyway. Like Groupon. I hope you guys have still been shorting that stock since the blow off top. I mean, what's this stock doing parading around in the 40s? Now it's back
the short interest is what it was. They got squeezed, and then it's been rolling over and deteriorating ever since.
And that's what I'm saying about this Newegg. Don't forget about Newegg. They're going to report earnings, and it's probably either it's going to pop right
Earnings?
Yeah, I think it's today or tomorrow. So there's going to be
get out of here with that.
This is a $3 stock. This is a 2-cent stock that's parading around at 130, and now it's at 80. Hope you guys have been shorting that with me as well. And it's an easy borrow. It only costs $2 to borrow, if you know what I mean. Sometimes when you can't short stocks, the platform allows you to locate a borrow, and it was only $2. So It's not hard to borrow either. Some of these stocks, they won't even let you short it.
I keep waiting for the poster child of COVID to come back, and that is Zoom. And Zoom has not done a whole lot. Zoom is still
It's
just kind
come
of
off the floor and it's gone up 100% off the
I mean,
lows.
it had a day last week.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're right about but the reason it's not going to come back is that stock's just waiting to be taken out and shot too, because somebody's going to come along where something's just a little bit better and faster than Zoom, and inevitably it'll be like Skype. Remember Skype? Exactly. It'll be the same thing.
Was Skype publicly traded? They got bought out by Microsoft.
They got bought up
right?
by, they were being tossed around by a lot of different companies at
But
one
they were
point.
publicly traded.
For a second, I think, yeah, and they got taken back private. I think that was the story there.
yeah. Microsoft just sunsetted that I think last year, but finally,
Really?
but
Skype officially gone?
Skype is no more. Skype
Yeah,
is
they
dead.
finally.
You know, it's funny because sometimes over the years that I've done like, TV, various studios use Skype. Like these are like, professional,
Wow.
big professional studios.
Well,
They-
when
they canceled dial-up finally, so I can't get on the internet.
a few years ago, when AIM shut down, AOL Instant Messenger, that was when I learned that apparently a bunch of traders used AIM still. Kenny,
Oh, yeah.
you probably used AIM, Kenny.
yeah. Kenny still has his AOL
All right.
email address.
No, I love
Kenny-
me some WhatsApp now. It's
Kenny, give me one
Yeah.
more. One
pretty
more
damn
before you hop.
convenient. What was the one I'm looking at? This one. I'm still looking at Open because it is a lot of fun to trade, but is OPAD, OPAD. I don't know where this one came from yesterday, but I guess people are just typing in the wrong symbol. So I'm looking to probably short this
That
one.
does happen.
OPAD. And I gotta tell you, keep an eye on the mob. We broke $5 yesterday, and this is basically 2-year highs for the mob. This is a drone company out of Israel, and if you've been following, they're into war and stuff. So the mob, MOB, it's never been higher than the price that it was at yesterday, other than its all-time high. So if this thing could break all-time highs, hello, we're looking at a 750 stock, maybe even $10. So if you like the space, a lot of these sleeper ones, the RR has been doing well.
You like the space. I see what you did there.
Yes, I'm so slick. I don't even know I'm telling jokes. RR, the robotics company, had been knifing its way up into the twos. Now you got 250 on that. So
RR's also Israeli or
no,
not?
that's a little robotics company, and and the V-Wave. I was telling you yesterday, this is a defense company that these are fairly new stocks. So if they break all-time highs, especially in the 2025, you got to go double or triple after you break new highs, like you guys were talking about. You're talking about base. Look at the mob. Look at that base that it formed at between 150.
I like
and
how your
2.
voice lowers when you say that.
I'm talking because it's Chuck D, baby. Come on.
Listen, Kenny, you're hanging out with JC tomorrow, but you're hanging out with me today.
All right.
All right, 2:00 Eastern. Link in chat and description. Kenny's going to go over his profit plan for the month of September, which is next week. Believe it or not, September is on Monday.
Yes, usually my best month. So hopefully we get some more volatility because, listen, like trades like PDD yesterday, you'll see more of that when the market's volatile. You'll have the big up move, the down move, a nice counter trend move, and then a rollover. You get 4 wonderful trades in one name in one day. That's why you need some volatility. So
All right.
I'm hoping for some more. Keep an eye on that UVXY, and I'll see you guys later.
Kenny
All
Glick,
right.
do it, baby. Kenny
2:00 Eastern time, right here. No, not on the channel. It'll be on our site. The link again is in the chat and description. See you, Kenny. All right.
Kenny
We
Glick,
got
the grandfather of day trading. No one's been doing it longer.
that's
Fun
what I
fact.
hear. We got Art Hill in the house, JC.
Let me tell you something, guys. Art Hill's one of those guys that, particularly early in my career, made a lot of impact in what you see here today. I mean, definitely Art, an inspiration to me. Definitely Strazza. Strazza's always talking about Arthur Hill. Shout out to Art. Thank you for being here. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Yo,
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Art Hill.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, my man? Thank you for being here.
Hey, Art.
Am I coming in all right?
Yeah.
You're a little
Sound good.
delayed.
Look good.
We'll figure it out. I wanted to let you know, I don't know who's a bigger
Coming
fan of yours,
overseas.
me or Strazza.
I put some special Art Hill inspired charts in the deck for us to go through.
Did you?
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
I'll tell a quick
Awesome.
story. So when I first got into TA a while back, Art was blogging then at Stock Charts. And I would watch his weekly videos every week religiously and read everything he was doing. And he was doing something different. I was learning about all these complex indicators that I had to go and study the math behind. And Art was like, rate of change, man. It's just the rate of change is so good. And he would keep it simple. And I said, this guy's just looking at what are the best stocks, the ones that are going up the most, and that's his universe. And I took concepts like initiation, I think, from you and exhaustion as well. So thank you very much. And we brought some charts along, but if you want to speak on that, it was just such an inspiration for me, your work on the rate of change.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Basically, you get that big lift off, and that tells you that something has really changed. That's kind of like the alarm bell going off. Now, it might not be straight up. You might get a pullback, but that's basically my bread and butter trade is to look for leading up trends, relative leaders, absolute leaders, and look for pullbacks and tradable oversold conditions within those trends.
Yeah. So what exactly do? You scan for a universe of names using ROC 10, 20. Are you still doing that?
Well, what I had to do was add a little water to my whiskey, because if you're looking at just rate of change, you're going to get some real outliers.
Yes.
And I wanted to look at rate of change relative to, say, volatility, and kind of level that playing field. And I'm not using this exactly, but an indicator would be basically the 200-day rate of change divided by the 20-day standard deviation. And that'll kind of level the playing field for you a little bit.
Otherwise, your list would be cluttered with like these speculative growth stocks, right? That are just built to really move when they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, volatility is fine, but it does cut both ways. So if you get it on the upside, you got to expect it on the downside too. And so that was the whole idea behind adding a little water to that whiskey.
I love that.
Of course, when I was younger, I could just drink straight whiskey.
Yeah, that's where I'm at these days, probably. Let's throw up some charts. I want to show you some of the things that we've done recently just with initiation and exhaustion. Fonz, if we don't have the ETH chart, just start with the S&P 500, because you could use this style of analysis when you're doing more macro or top-down work or like index level work. So here's a chart that we recently put out. I think has Art Hill written all over it. Volatility like this tends to spike, at turning points in the market. So we've marked this chart up just to show the biggest days in the S&P 500 actually tend to come at the bottom, and you get these beautiful initiation style momentum readings, kind of hinting you that the bottom's in and a new uptrend's about to kind of be underway.
Well, yeah, and they also we see, like we saw with this April move, it started with a Zweig breath thrust. Well, it didn't start, but that came in on April 21st when you got that Zweig breath thrust, and that's a similar principle. You're getting this really oversold condition with a sharp move to the downside, and then it suddenly reversed with an equally violent move to the upside. And what happens is the trend following indicators don't come until a lot later. And if you want to catch these bottoms, you got to be looking for the capitulation, which is when you get those big rate of change moves to the downside, and then looking for that reversal with the big rate of change move to the upside. It's very sudden, very sharp, but usually there is follow through. It's like a rocket lifting off. You have to have that thrust to get the escape velocity. And that's what we had in April when we got that Zweig breath thrust on April 24th.
What do you do? Art's describing a situation where you'll basically thrust in both directions at an inflection point. You'll have an exhaustion reading, right, signaling that the old trend is maybe over, followed by an initiation reading saying a new trend in the opposite direction is underway. What do you do when you don't get the exhaustion? Sometimes we don't get the exhaustion. Throw up the Dixie chart just as an example so everybody could see. I think when dollar topped a couple of years back, this chart I've just always remembered. Can we throw it up? So you had a reading in both directions. It was like best day, worst day, bang, 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 and then like a big resolution. If you went out on like a 5-day or longer term rate of change, you would see the readings there too. So what do you do if that exhaustion doesn't come before the initiation? Do you trust it as much or no?
Well, there's more than one way to bottom or to top, and that's why we have different tools, of course, in our arsenal. But at the very basic, as you see with the DXY chart, you had a big move down in October of 2022, it looks like, and then you started with a rebound that formed a lower high, and then you had the lower low and the breakdown, and that was the clear start of a trend. But when it's volatile, I'll give you it's tough because the volatility, as I said, cuts both ways. And I'm more into stocks, and so when I get an overbought reading, I'm not that concerned with stocks because stocks do have a trendiness about them, and the leaders tend to lead for a long time. So a stock can become overbought and remain overbought. So I'm not too worried about the overbought readings. Strategically, tactically, of course, I would be worried about an overbought reading and wait for that pullback.
Yeah, you're the kind of guy who likes to buy them overbought. Why do you think the textbooks teach so much mean reversion and counter trend, I guess, practices when it comes to these RSI readings? I feel like it's always being taught that overbought is bad, oversold is like a good entry, when you're saying it might be the opposite.
Well, and keep in mind, you got to also think of your time frame. When I use RSI 10, and when you see an RSI 10 thrust above 70, sure, that's short-term overbought. That's also, it takes strong buying pressure to become overbought. And so once you start seeing those pushes above 70 and that strong buying pressure and strong upside momentum coming in, that's when you want it on your radar and you let it come to you, because if you can get a good entry, because sometimes overbought's not a great entry, and then you have to sit through a pullback. And so that's why the pullbacks come in handy if you're looking to add to a position.
Awesome. Let's jump into your charts. I know you sent some along. So slide 19, I think we have Art's charts. S&P 500. Okay, here's another thing I probably used you for over the years. What the hell is this giant polarity zone? I mean, I thought we're supposed to draw them with lines, and the tests are supposed to hit perfectly on our support or resistance lines. You have a giant block drawn on here. Explain yourself, Art. What is this?
Well, I mean, come on, this is SPY, and it's got 500 moving parts, aka stocks, and not every stock has the same support and resistance level. And so when it comes to ETFs especially, I'll use zones because usually you don't hit a precise support level and bounce. And at the top, you can see the resistance levels from the December and January, February highs coming in around 615, marking the top of that resistance zone. And at the bottom, you got the rising 200-day coming into play. Now, whether we hit that zone or not, I don't know, because right now you can see we've just broken out to new highs and it's kind of zigzagging higher. So we may not hit that zone. But if we get into that, 610, 620 area, that's the first area to watch for firming and a potential oversold condition that could lead to a bounce.
And what's this? What's in the lower pane here? Is this Bollinger Bands? What is that?
So, well, that's percent B, and that's basically based on Bollinger Bands. And so when it goes below 0, that means the close is below the lower Bollinger Band. And since it's 20 days, it's relatively short term. And when you get a close below the lower Bollinger Band, that is, of course, 2 standard deviations below the 20-day moving average. That means you've had a 2 standard deviation decline below that 20-day moving average. So that's a short-term pullback. And that I use that for scans. When I'm running a scan, I'm looking for stocks that are in long-term uptrends, ETFs as well. And then I look for percent B to be below 0 or near that 0 line, or RSI 10 to be near 30 to look for potential oversold setups within an uptrend.
Nice. Basically the same story here with the Qs, the next chart?
Yeah, same exact story with the Qs. They're running neck and neck here. The Qs, the only concern here is because overbought conditions up 15% since that breakout gap in mid-May. But, you can become overbought and remain overbought. And you can see if you waited for percent B to become oversold, well, you still don't have it. You would have had to to catch the ride on the way up and say, bite your tongue and take that overbought trade and buy it.
Some of these trends. I mean, we did a V off of the April lows, and it's been hard to get in, frankly, ever since.
Yeah,
S&P
when we had that Zweig breath thrust, I showed a chart using a 65-day Keltner channel as kind of a
Nice.
way to trail up a stop a little closer on that
Yep.
Zweig breath thrust. That was in April.
That fired
then-
like right off the lows or the week off the lows usually.
So, well, the Zweig breath thrust was happening
Mm.
around 470 there for SB for the Qs.
Okay.
And so if you'd had a Keltner going on that, you would have held it all the way through. So it kind of
Wow.
gives you a way to say, okay, because when you're entering a trade, you have to have an exit. You got to plan that trade before you do it. And you say, do I want to hit and run trade with a 1 or 2 week time frame, or do I want to try and hold this trend for a while? And the 65-day Keltner channel was a way to do that, to hold the trend for a while.
Do you use that for all of your trades as a tool?
No, I specifically developed that with SPY and the Zweig breath thrust because I was able to back test it in Amy Broker to quantify the signals.
Wow.
So that was why I used it. And it did pretty good. It did pretty good. Good enough to use it, to show it.
Are you still these days back testing new things and tweaking your process as you go? You're still making changes, learning new stuff, trying new things?
I am trying new things, but less than before because I've kind of got the basic strategy, and you kind of, we all go through our dips and our drawdowns with any strategy. Just going to have to live through those. But yeah, I'm looking at different things, when I come across something on X, or I come across a blog that puts out something interesting, I'll try to test it in Amy Broker.
I feel like you used to write a lot about simplifying your process. Have you simplified a lot over the years? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I used to.
Less is more.
I think I was on a message group with John Bollinger years ago, and he said, when you come to the end, you arrive at the beginning. And when you start off in TA, the first thing you're doing is you're trying everything. You're throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. But as you move on, you start throwing things away and throwing things out, and you get to the basics. And, you need a trend indicator. You need a momentum indicator to show you the leaders, a trend indicator to show you the uptrend. And then you need some sort of oversold indicator to show you or find those pullbacks within that uptrend. And, it's just over and over, rinse and repeat.
That's great. And, people, a lot of great traders and analysts will tell you that this is a part of their journey, right? Doing less as they kind of evolve. And it's not to say that all those other tools don't work or aren't valuable to somebody else. But as you find your way as a trader, you find a process that works for you, speaks to you, and it's unique to you. And then what you'll find is, oh, I don't need that. That's good. That could be helpful for somebody or something else. But I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And you just keep like the core things that really, help you with whatever process that is that you kind of arrived on.
Absolutely. I mean, indicators are like ingredients in a recipe. If you're making a bolognese or something, there are dozens of different ways to make a good bolognese. Simpler the better.
Hey, how's the bolognese out there in Brussels? You got some good Italians around you?
We do have some good Italians, but my kids, they like the Belgian style bolognese.
Really?
And,
What's that
and
like?
they put Emmental on it, which is kind of like a grated Swiss cheese on top, and Tabasco.
Swiss cheese and Tabasco? Oh, that's a
That's
no-no.
the Belgianized way.
I'll let my grandma hear
I'm
that.
more of the old school Italian way, where I cook it with a little bit of sherry and maybe throw in some porcini mushrooms to give it some, richness.
Yeah, that's great. And the beer is great in Brussels. So
the beer is absolutely great. It's beer and chocolate and French fries, or Belgian fries, excuse me.
They do it with the duck fat out there.
Not always. There are some that do fry in the, not in duck fat, but I think it's a beef or an ox
Okay.
fat.
But it gives them that nice.
But half of them are doing it. There is a bit of a health push here, so half of them are doing it in vegetable oil.
Okay.
So,
all right. Art, talk to me about breadth before you go. People say breadth is deteriorating. Your chart here with the S&P 500% above 200 day, and the 1500% above 200 day would say otherwise. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's small caps and mid caps in this ratio on the lower pane too.
absolutely, there are. And what I was noticing was, and this is just recent, of course, Friday, when this S&P 1500% above 200 day broke above 60%. Because until Friday, small and mid caps were not taking part, and I wasn't that impressed. But I'm looking for that percent above 200 day to get above a threshold that says, hey, the vast majority of stocks are in uptrends. You use 50%, you're going to get a lot of whipsaws. But you get that push above 60%, and the S&P 1500's got the S&P 500, the S&P mid cap 400, S&P small cap 600. So 1,000, a third of them are small and mid caps. And so this shows a broadening of the advance. And the S&P 500 one hit the highest level of 2025, 70%.
Wow. I mean, Art, this was an incredible signal just earlier this year. The way that these breadth indicators rolled over well ahead of price and kind of tipped you off. Is that usually the case where you'll just get a great signal about internals here?
Well, they really did. They really did provide a timely signal as they started breaking down in late February and clearly in early March. They broke down. So that was a timely signal. We all saw new lows expand in early March. One thing also to notice, you see the blue shading on that chart. Well, from December 2023 until December 2024, S&P 1500% above 200 day held above 60%, did not go below 60. That was a big bull market.
Yeah.
This is yet to be seen, but that's what a big bull, a broad bull market looks like.
No, this is a great chart. I love this chart. Next one. Let's talk about these new highs. And what will you do, Art, when you get that signal, right? When internals are rolling over you below 60%, you're not running out and like shorting stocks or buying puts. Are you just kind of laying off the gas and not getting more long? What do you do in these situations?
The first thing you do is you stop going long. And the second thing you do is you lighten up. I don't short because you can see what happened in April.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Exactly. Stocks they do have a long-term bullish bias. Let's face it.
Right.
There are some shorting opportunities out there, I'm sure, but I'm really not into shorting stocks.
You know what you could do
once you get that breadth breakdown in March, you need to lighten up a lot.
Man, and look at the exhaustion reading, blowout readings in these new lows at the April lows.
Yeah, that was capitulation. I had 3 capitulation indicators, and if you did a 200-day Bollinger Band with 3 standard deviations, SPY and QQQ got below that. So that was like a 3 standard deviation decline. It was a blowout with new lows, capitulation. So hindsight's 2020.
What do you make of all the V-shaped bottoms in recent history? Some people are out here saying, oh, it's always a V-shaped bottom. I don't think that's the case. But I think we're getting a lot more V-shaped bottoms in recent history than we did in the past.
Well, we definitely have 2 within the last 6 years, 5 years with the COVID
and 2018,
low.
2018 was close too.
Like 2018 was close. The 2023 bottom wasn't. That was a kind of a channel-like correction.
Yep.
And then we broke out of it with that big surge in November, December.
Yep.
V bottoms are tough, I admit. Perhaps we need to study them more because I think volatility is above average these days, the last 6 years.
I think it might be here to stay.
Yeah, it just might be.
All right. What else we got here? XLK. Talk to me about some groups that you're watching right now. I see you got the mega caps in here, the semiconductors, the Mag 7s, and then I want to hear about this Arty too.
Yeah, what I found was I've got 6 ETFs that I'm going to show you here. And the first 3 are basically moving sideways. So you can correct in a number of different ways. You can move sideways in a trading range. You can decline. And I noticed that XLK and SMH and the
Chart
Mag
on.
7 ETF are all moving sideways. And you've got these lows from last week and the August low. And if they break, that'll tell you that the correction is expanding. And we can expect maybe some fireworks in September, a correction. But if XLK breaks that low at 255, that's a sign the correction is expanding. And we could move into that 240 area. That's a support zone.
You have these little tactical tops. I was writing about, go to the semis and the IGV next. I was writing about the SMH and IGV next. Yeah, these little short-term tops, right? If they dig in and hold and fail these tops, then you got a little corrective wave and it's probably buyable, right?
Yeah, and that 280 area, you're stalling out. Yeah, I'm sure somebody could see a head and shoulders forming if they wanted, but head and shoulders usually a longer term pattern, but this is very short term. But if you break, 280, then that tells you that the correction is expanding, and it could happen because NVIDIA reports tomorrow. So we'll see.
I was just thinking the same thing. How much do you think about stuff like that?
Oh, I haven't. You have to get the earnings right, and then you have to get the reaction to the earnings right. Two things.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I'm going to take the fifth on that one.
We like to say internally, it's not a beat unless the market says it's a beat. You could come out here and beat the street, EPS, sales. That's fine, but we got to wait till the close. The market's got to tell us it's a beat. That stock better be up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The market is the ultimate arbiter.
All right, before we get you out of here, Artie, they obviously named this after you.
They named this after me. I'm so proud of it. Let me tell you. This is the robotics and AI ETF, and it's not moving flat. It's actually correcting. So there is a correction in Artie, in cybersecurity, CIBR, and IGD, but it's a wedge channel, a little flag maybe. You break out around 42.5, that reverses that, and you got a continuation higher.
How often do you find that when you're diving in and picking your stocks that you want to be longing, how often are you finding that there's speculative tech or growth, AI, robotics, quantum, like all these new groups? Because I see you have some old economy stocks in here like Corteva too.
It's whatever fits the bill, because you look at that Corteva chart, that's a nice chart. It hit a 52-week high. It's in a long-term uptrend. I mean, that's a powerful move off the April. That looks like a tech stock almost.
So you're not one of these guys who says I'm a growth stock and a trader or investor. You'll go anywhere.
No, I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at the momentum.
Nice.
A trend, momentum, and you can see there's a pullback within the uptrend, and you have %B tagging that zero line in July and August, and now we have a breakout working. So that's a bull flag basically.
This is great. All right, how are you feeling into the end of the year? What are some favorite groups? You think tech stocks kind of dig back in here? They'll probably be a good pond to fish in, or we'll see.
Oh, I guess the default scenario is I'm bullish till year end, but I'm wary in September, October.
There you go. Well, we're here now.
40% chance of a correction? 40, that sounds right. 40%. You can't go wrong there.
Is that it, Spencer?
Yeah. I think the chances of a correction, 50-50, let's say, because, hey, we're really extended, and, we're seeing some of these tech ETFs already correcting. And if XLK breaks down, that would confirm the correction is expanding. And techs are like 34% of the S&P 500.
So they're going to follow. In fact, the SMH and IGV chart that you just showed together, those make up like 35% of the S&P 500. It's mostly just them. The semis.
Yeah, they're dominant there. Definitely.
I think NVIDIA could be the catalyst this week for picking a direction in either way.
Yeah, it could very well be.
All right, Art. Well,
it's always going to be fireworks. Never a dull moment.
Yeah. And they come after like the earnings fireworks. They're like an off-season reporter, so they're just kind of like stuck out here by themselves. Always a market-moving event. Yeah, Art, thank you so much.
All right, guys. Here. Well, thanks for having me and showing the charts.
Art. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a great.
Later.
I'm sorry.
He's great.
Cut him off there. Before we bring on Phil, JC requested that we bring on slide 3, right? Is that what it is?
JC brought some charts.
Yeah.
Where is it?
The Sol ETH ratio. Where's that? There we go.
Yeah.
So
Is this an intraday chart? Is
This
this an intraday chart? Seriously? Seriously?
yeah, it looks like
Really?
it. It looks like it is.
Really? We're doing this? I have no
Um,
comment on this.
This is the number one debate on
No, it's not.
stock market TV right now. Is Sol or ETH? Right?
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, no.
Okay.
We already know the answer.
Oh, all
It's a
right.
foregone conclusion. Get on board the Soul Train.
The Soul Train. That's right.
Yeah.
See, the issue is Ethereum doesn't have a good nickname like the Soul Train, right? Ethereum needs a good nickname to get on the ETH train. ETH train doesn't work. You need ETH bandwagon doesn't work either. Soul Train sounds great, right? So in any case, if JC were here, he would say the Soul ETH ratio is breaking down, is what he would say. But
Who was that guy?
huh?
The Godfather? What was the wrestler?
I'm not the guy to
All
ask
right. Yeah,
about
whatever.
that. Sorry,
Okay.
not in my wheelhouse. All right, we got Phil Perlman in the house, ready to drop some wisdom on us. Do I have Phil? Do I have your bumper here? I don't know if I do. No, I think it's a work in progress. I'm just gonna bring you out. Screw it. Phil don't need no bumper because he's Phil.
Boo.
So let me just tell you something. Good morning, guys.
Hey.
Don Cornelius.
Is that it?
Is that the guy? Is that
Don Cornelius was the Soul Train guy, man. That was like that's like the real thing.
Is that blues, jazz? What is that?
R&B.
Soul music, baby.
Soul
Train.
music.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. Yeah.
Soul Train. That was a classic TV show of the 70s
right?
Okay.
with Don Cornelius host, and they would have all, they would have the Jackson 5 on, they would have Earth, Wind and Fire on, they would have all the great bands of the time.
Awesome.
And that was a deep part of my childhood growing up, man. I was big into
That's cool.
the Spinners and everybody. Anyway, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I got a couple things for you all today. First, I heard you talking about NVIDIA. Listen, and you guys are talking about the earnings and the response to the earnings. And I just want to provide our viewers with a metaphor that they can take into the earnings, a way to be thinking about yourself in the earnings. And the metaphor is judo, right? So judo is a martial art where we use the weight of our opponent and the balance or off balance of our opponent against them, right? So instead of lunging, we wait, our opponent lunges at us, and then we use their body weight against them. They lunge, we grab them and throw them in the direction that they're lunging.
I didn't know that's what
judo. It comes from it comes from way back. This Taoist idea of Bruce Lee would say, be like water, right? That was this, Taoist idea. And he was stealing it from Lao Tzu. And he was he was judo man, right? He was the martial arts expert. He would use the weight or the off balance of his opponents against them. So that's what you do. NVIDIA reports, and, you're not responding to the number, and you are taking into account the action. And you are letting the weight and the force of that action do the work for you, as opposed to trying to fight it, or as opposed to getting yourself off balance, which would be really sort of the analog there would be maybe betting too much, maybe taking too large of a position. Okay, that's number one. And I got a couple other things for you guys, so I'm moving kind of quickly today because we don't have that much time.
Don't have time. This is fast market.
The bumper, dude, I got to see the bumper before it goes out. You can't just like spring a bumper on me. So
you don't
just do that.
You don't get to choose the bumpers, Spencer.
I don't even make the bumpers. I don't even get to make them. Someone else makes them. Shout out Izzy.
That was item number 2. What else you got, Phil?
Well, I'm going to get with Izzy. Also, Thursday at 1 p.m. live on Stock Market TV. I'm going to be having a conversation with Eric Jackson, who is really what's that?
The Carvana guy.
The Carvana guy, the open OPEN guy. What is that? Open Door Technologies.
Yeah.
And the way that I see him, people are like, busting his chops and saying, hey, he's like a mean guy or whatever, a Reddit guy, but he's really not. He's using mean techniques to be an activist investor. That's the way that's the way I'm framing him. That's the way I'm thinking about him. I know him going way back in the day.
Really?
And I think, that this will be a good interview. I'll press him. I'm going to push him. I'm going to question him. I'm going to have a good conversation. I'm going to see, we're going to talk a little bit about his history, what makes him tick, because he's a really interesting guy and a great story. That's Thursday at 1 live. If you have any questions, you could just hit me here or on Twitter, or just email me at pperlman@gmail.com. If you have any questions you want me to ask, make them good. And then here's the last thing I have for you. I have for you a quote from Ujanov Zamyatin back in the day. And he said, revolutions are infinite. Maybe you're out there and you're trading, or you're out there and you're grinding and you're spinning your wheels and you're not where you want to be. Revolutions are infinite, he once said. Reinventions are infinite. Rebirths are infinite. You can wake up one morning, reinvent yourself. You can wake up one morning and change everything. You could just do it. And so, Spencer, I want you to throw that photo up. This is a photo. This came up on my Google Photos yesterday. I was at the Garlic Festival.
Wow, look at this guy. Holy shit.
I was at the this is 2012, South Florida, at the Garlic Festival in South Florida.
Beers. Look at this guy.
What was that line from Animal House?
Because he just reps sugar. Old Phil just would rep sugar.
A Coke shirt and a nice cold cup of beer.
Dude, what a picture, Phil.
Dude, isn't that crazy? That was 13 years ago. That was February of 2012. Came up on my Google Photos. I was probably 60, 50, 60 pounds heavier. That was 44 years old. Now I'm 58. That second picture is 58. And you could just wake up tomorrow morning and change what you do, whether it's how you live your life, whether it's how your health, whether it's your trading. Maybe you're maybe you're trading and you're being run around by your emotions, and you don't have a discipline, and you don't have a methodology, and you don't have an approach to the market. Strazza's on here every day and he's living it. I follow him, and what he does on Breakout Multiplier is insane. And he has a methodology. He has an approach, and it is seasoned and it is disciplined. And I make that analogy. There's a connection between one. They're all related. You can wake up tomorrow morning and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be a different market participant than I was."
And if I could have taken a before and after picture of my trading or my trader mindset, it would look just like Phil's, where 10, 15 years ago, I was just fat, fucking sloppy, didn't know what I was doing, throwing shit at the wall, like Art Hill said. And now today, just fit, man, just fit, know what I'm doing. So same thing.
Maybe you look good too, by the way. Wow. You look physically good too. They go together. Those two things go together, but you look fit. And I know your trading is incredibly disciplined. Like, you have a loser and it's like, okay, lost, on to the next. Goodbye, sayonara. Like what's that singer? Thank you next. What was her? Ariana Grande. You know that Ariana Grande? She's a pip, that one.
Phil, you are the best, man. You're an inspiration for all of us. I just love the before and after shot. And I think
that's sick, right?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And I think Pearls of Wisdom would be a good name for Phil's segment, no?
Everybody's telling me that. Everybody's telling me. And I'm going to do the podcast. Everybody's telling me to use Pearls of Wisdom.
Pearls of Wisdom. That's cool, man. You don't like it? What don't you like about it?
I like it.
All right.
Everybody likes it. My homeboy, Sam, I go hiking a few times a week with this homeboy, Sam, who lives up the street. He's like, Phil, Pearls of Wisdom. You got to do Pearls of Wisdom. I'm like, it's so obvious. Everybody's telling me that. But sometimes maybe sometimes the obvious trade is the good trade, right? Is that it?
Hey, it gets my vote. I wouldn't overthink it. It just sounds right for you.
I'm running. Hey, Bridal Mac, I'm running the wine glass half in Corning in October. I don't know what the Wolverine stack is, but I don't
wine glass half.
What's that? Do you run a half marathon with holding a glass of wine? How does that work?
Yeah, there's no wine. It's actually the wine glass whole marathon, and it's the Wegmans half, and they're the same weekend. It's just different sponsors, but it's
Yeah.
the same event. And so I think it's the
Got
Wegmans. The wine glass full marathon, you got to run with a glass of wine. And the Wegmans half, you have to run with a rotisserie chicken.
That's really funny. Have you been crushing it outside with all that great weather you're having up there?
Dude, the weather's incredible.
Oh my God.
And I was out, and I've been out, pretty much every day I get out there, and
Yes.
going to do a little run later this afternoon. Now it's getting cooler. You can run in the afternoon. You don't have to
The
run
last
in the
like week and a half has been like, oh God, so
It's my
perfect.
favorite time of year.
We had such a crappy summer. I thought it's humid, but the last week and a half has been amazing. So
Yep. It's amazing. Late August and September is the best time up in New York because it gets cool in the morning, cool in the evening, and it still warms up in the afternoon. Eat dinner outside. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Brad, it's my pleasure, bro. Every day you wake up and just, like that, you could just go. You know what I mean? You could just like start to do the thing, stop snorting sugar and anything else, and, make your life happen.
It's your world. Make it what you want. Yeah.
We live in a constructivist universe.
That's right.
Let's get out of here.
Okay. Speaking of here's what's going on in our world today. Sean's going live at 11 o'clock for What Are My Options. Kenny's
So
going
good.
live. Kenny's going
Love this
live
new
at
show
noon.
he's doing.
Jeff Mackey's live at 1. Kenny's live again at 2. Big day for Kenny. If you want to get access to that 2 o'clock stream, that's not going to be on YouTube or on Twitter. It'll be on our site. The link to that is in the chat and description. Sean's show, Kenny's first show, and Jeff's show will all be on YouTube. So that's what we got going on today. Thank you, Arthur Hill and Phil and Kenny and chat, as always.
And Austin and Brad and Colin and everybody who gave me a shout out. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go make some
Chat's
money.
the best. Hold on. Twitter
Yes.
Spaces, 11 o'clock. Be there.
Twitter Spaces, 11 o'clock. See you guys there. Smash
Adios.
the like. Bye.
Run it.